So we'll dive right into it, and we'll be doing 3 questions. And the first question is, can you describe how Imbue Network decentralized finance platform works and what advantages it offers over traditional finance systems?
Yeah, hey Nemo, of course. Imbue's inner working is essentially based on the ideal of milestone submissions, and it kind of allows us to do a bunch of different things with a single code base. We're currently competing for the freelancing space mostly, as well as trying to provide use for the many grant programs that Web3 has to offer. And hopefully we can provide them with a sort of transparent and secure method of payment. Our advantages are probably best seen in the disadvantages of like the current freelancing systems. Now they generally offer sort of high fees, very slow payment once the work is done, and sometimes a lack of escrow and security for freelancers. Not to mention like a very opaque and centralized governance system. Blockchain technology actually allows us to do quite a few novel and exciting things. Like the main one that I really want to share is the ability to kind of earn a wage while resolving disputes on the network. So you kind of own the network as a user of it. I think this is quite nice because if a freelancer is low on work, it could be sort of a quick alternative to a buck or two. So yeah, that's what I've got.
Cool. The second question is, how has Imbue Network fostered community participation and engagement, and what role do you see the community playing in the development and growth of the platform?
Community is kind of core to any autonomous network, right? Imbue has always been extremely transparent with its progress. And we've always kind of gone to the community for advice during its sort of key moments, sort of if we're moving on to develop a new part of the platform. We do see the community as sort of an essential part of growing, because we need them at our core, right? But in reality, I feel like personally, users must come from seeing the benefits of the network, and they need to want to use it, right? It's going to be more of a pull thing. So I think once we market ourselves a bit better and we start getting the benefits across, we'll have a bit more growth, some organic growth.
Fair.
Maybe Sam probably has more to say about that, but
Sam.
Yeah, Sam is the sort of CTO CEO.
Maybe we'll catch him next time.
Yeah, hopefully.
So, and then the next question is, what features or applications can we expect from Imbue Network in the coming months and years?
Coming months and years. So I've kind of mentioned the 2 core offerings that we're kind of going for.
Yeah.
And so that would be the freelancing network and the sort of generic grants program to just try and help the ecosystem a bit more. With sort of responsibility and auditability. So those are probably the 2. We're going to see them in just a couple of months, I think. And we've got this really nice front end, which we think is going to be really nice to use. I think we're demoing to parity in either next week or the week after for the final milestone of the Builders Program. So yeah, it's a really exciting time. As you may know, we just got funding from the Kusama Treasury, so we've many hands on deck. And if you join our Telegram at Imbue Network, then you can stay up to date with all the exciting new features. And we post regularly to sort of update you there as well. So yeah,
I'll definitely give that a look. Sounds very interesting. So our final question is lighter, depending on how you found the event, but it was basically, how did you find the event, and were you able to interact with devs? Did you have anyone you mentored, and how did that go for you?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun sort of just walking around and listening to many of the projects. It's the first time I've come sort of supporting a team to a hackathon instead of participating. So it was nice just to be sort of a neutral entity and just sort of walk around. Yeah, the event, I mean, I think generally speaking, we loved the location. It's like a really unique place to sort of host a hackathon. But I think the location actually didn't always serve in the favour, right? Because we had a lack of stable internet, which if I don't have sort of at least 1 or 2 megabytes per second, I find coding can be a bit cumbersome.
Yeah.
Coffee, I believe, should be everywhere, or tea maybe in Kenya is more fitting. But and I didn't see where everyone could sit. I'm going down the bad side, but I mean the good side, just the stage was lovely, and the organisers, of course, like were very welcoming and put on a really good show. The accommodation was fantastic, and the range of nationalities was like immense. So all over Africa, right? So it was really cool to see. Everyone was super enthusiastic. And was just like ready to talk and talk about what they were doing, but there was a little bit of a lack of doing itself, I feel like. So we couldn't see many code bases or many sort of not live, but just demos, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I think at like a high level, it's like it was looking really good, but the hackathon was not built for hacking. You know what I mean? It was more built for maybe networking or something like that.
The network could have been definitely faster, and it's definitely something that we're looking into the future, potentially partnering with a internet company to ensure that it's beneficial for the coding process, as you said.
Yeah, it's a lot of bandwidth you probably need, and when you're out in the bush, probably quite hard to get right. So
yeah, definitely something that we need to look further into, either by collaborating with the bandwidth company, or potentially moving our location to a more friendly environment. But yeah,
definitely. You could probably set up like some sort of test, some sort of stress test. If you're like checking out a venue or something, you go in with like a bunch of stress tests and just absolutely hammer it for 5-10 minutes and just see what it's like. Could be a good idea. Like try downloading on like 10 different machines or 10 different terminals.
Yeah. Wasn't good.
Well, I mean, it wasn't. I couldn't even connect my phone at the event. And, especially if you're compiling Substrate, you've got to download like 100 packages or something, and before you start compiling. So,
that's definitely a message that I will be passing on, and hopefully when you join us, if you join us next year, it'll be a lot faster. And you'll be far more impressed with our internet than you probably are now.
Well, I'm happy to help if I can help. I'm happy to help. So.
Oh, and would you be interested in joining another one, or was it a once in a lifetime situation experience?
No, of course it wasn't once in a lifetime situation. Come on, first hackathon in Africa. It's not gonna be perfect, is it? No.
Thank you for taking this interview.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you for coming for our event. Hopefully you'll join us, like we said, next year. And we look forward to keeping in touch.
Yeah, absolutely.